Hello again and welcome to the Roy Williams Show. We'll be talking Carolina basketball with the head coach of the Tar Heels for the next hour. Appreciate you joining us no matter how you are listening today. Have a lot of stuff to talk about with Coach Williams. Coach, first of all, great to see you again. Glad to be back with you and hope you had a great holiday. We'll talk about basketball and all that stuff in a second, but how was the holiday for you?
Well, the holiday was really good. It was only the second time since March we've had all our family together. It's just, and I shouldn't say all of our family. It's just Scott and his family, Katie and her family, and me and Wanda for about 24 hours. Maybe not much more. It's about 24 hours. But that was good, and I needed it after the North Carolina State game, so for sure. So it was great for me.
How did you manage the couple of days there after the state game, but before you got back, or when do your guys get back to get back to basketball activities?
Well, we played state, or we showed up over there on Tuesday night, and Wednesday I was in the mountains. Thursday evening, the kids and grandkids got there and stayed with us until Friday evening, and Kimmy and her crowd left, and then Scott and his crowd left on Saturday morning, and they took me over to the airport to fly back down here on Saturday morning. We met with the team Saturday afternoon. Everyone got tested. We had a lengthy film session. We couldn't do anything physical activity-wise, but we spaced ourselves out even more so than normal, and had a lengthy film session on Saturday and then practiced on Sunday.
Coach, of course, you referenced it. The only game since we last met was that frustrating one. Carolina fell behind by as many as 17 points in the first half, got back to within a point with about 8 minutes left, but couldn't quite get over the hump against NC State. Final score eventually was 79-76.
Yes, you had two shots at the end that could have tied. They were not bad shots, but they weren't great shots. But in that scenario, we're probably not going to get a great shot because it's going to be a three. But we had some chances. We just didn't get over the hump, as you said. But you have to give State credit. They out-hustled us. They had more sense of urgency, made more shots. And then when we started making a little comeback and we'd get right on the edge of maybe taking the lead, and then we'd take a bad shot or turn it over. Never got, as you said, I think, I can't remember if it was on there or not, we got it to one. We never had the ball down one, and we never got it where we had the lead because I think that would have put a little more pressure on them. But they just outplayed us, and the sense of urgency, I keep going back to that because their sense of urgency was so much greater than ours.
Coach, State shot the ball really well in the first half. I'm guessing they got higher quality shots than you would like, though.
Yeah, I mean, Devin Daniels drove it to the basket, 3 of his first 4 shots. He made his first 4, and 3 of them were drives. Shaquille Moore is really a good player, and yet he hadn't shot that great a percentage from 3, and he makes his first 2 threes. But we gave him better looks than we wanted to give them. And then, again, I go back to the same thing, is that they were quicker to the ball, quicker to the loose ball, quicker to the rebound. They were more efficient where they picked us up. With their defense than we were with where we picked them up, and it was just all around. Their coaching staff had their group much more ready to play than we did.
Coach, it is you win as a team, you lose as a team. Of course, your starting backcourt though was just 8 of 28 and 1 of 8 from 3. I know you need a little higher percentage from those guys.
Well, we do, but Garrison Brooks was 5 for 14, so he was just like them. I mean, basically, and his shots were a lot closer. So I do try to make sure we don't just pick out and say this player or that player. But
sure.
Those 3 guys didn't shoot it well. Leakey didn't shoot it well. There were a lot of guys that didn't shoot it well, except for Walker Kessler, Armando, Dayron. They had pretty good percentages. But, no, if your backcourt goes 8 for 24 and then your best, most experienced player goes 5 for 14, you're not going to have a good situation.
You mentioned Walker Kessler. He had 3 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks. I'm not even sure those numbers really speak to how involved he was, though, in the game. Felt like a breakout game for him. Well,
the last 4 minutes of the first half, he's the only reason we were able to get back. We cut it to 7, I think, at halftime, if I'm not mistaken, and it was 90% on his play, and he didn't even take a shot. But just his hustle and his shot blocking, his rebounding, and the whole thing, diving on the floor twice, got us 2 possessions. He was the one person responsible for getting us back close.
Coach, last thing about this game, then we'll take a break and move on. You had 52 points in the paint. You had a 19-2 advantage on fast break points. Those are numbers traditionally when you have success that look like that.
Well, yeah, and then the whole thing again goes down to they shot it very well in the first half, and then we never shot it well from outside. 2 for 12, I think, from 3-point line. And in the last 4 minutes of the game, we also missed 3 free throws. And so there were a couple of things. There were a couple of things going on the court that I didn't think the officials handled as well. And I told them, though, I said our team was 100 times worse than they were, so it was not that. But it was just accumulation of that snowball. Everything, as things started rolling down the hill, it got worse.
All right, we have a lot more to do with Coach. We will talk a little bit about that film session that he talked about and just how the Tar Heels watch film and what's important there. We're going to get to your questions for the head coach of the Heels. And then Carolina plays Georgia Tech, another game on the road and another tough ACC matchup coming up for the Tar Heels. That and more when we return to the Roy Williams Show from Learfield, IMG College.